Hi everyone, welcome to class. We're going to meet lying down on our backs. Bring yourself to lie down on your back. We'll start in stillness and then we're going to start to really pick up the pace and we'll hopefully get a bit of a sweat on quite quickly. Bring yourself down, find yourself on the floor. Back of the neck is nice and long, feet are going to be on the floor, knees pointed up towards the ceiling. You can take the feet as wide as you need to or as far away from the body as you need to be comfortable. Hands can rest by your sides or on your belly or wherever feels comfortable. Maybe you want them overhead for a bit of a stretch. And we'll just start to think about getting settled in here, taking a few slow breaths. You're welcome to shut the eyes if that feels like the right thing to do. You might just let the gaze and the face soften a bit if you're not sure about shutting the eyes. We're just going to take a few slow breaths here, noticing the places where the body makes contact with the floor. So noticing especially the back of the pelvis, the feet, the backs of the shoulders, the back of the head. Slow, easy breaths. So not really forcing particularly big breaths, but just making sure the breath is slow and it's steady. Let the inhale roll into the exhale. We'll take one more breath in stillness here. Maybe an inhale breath through the nose. And as you exhale, you might let it all go through the mouth. Bring your hands onto your belly. So that your fingers are sort of pointing downwards from your hip bones and your thumbs are pointing up towards your belly button. You're creating a bit of a diamond shape with the hands. You're just going to find a little tilt of the pelvis. So you're going to tilt your belly button. You're going to pull, your belly button down towards the floor, tilting your thumbs in towards your face, letting your fingertips rise slightly. And then you'll roll it back the other way, pressing your tailbone down, letting your fingertips point slightly down, allowing the thumbs to lift a little bit. So just keeping that roll going. It doesn't have to be matched with the breath. You're moving as slowly or as quickly as you like, and you're breathing at your own steady rhythm. We're just taking the spine, the pelvis, right the way through to its extreme. So rolling all the way through neutral, pulling the belly button down. Rolling all the way back through neutral, pulling the tailbone down and feeling the belly button lift. So we'll go one more time in each direction. And then, once you've completed those last two rolls, roll yourself back to what feels like the middle point, the neutral space where your fingertips and your thumbs are evenly balanced across the belly. We're going to hold that alignment as best we can in the lower back, in the tailbone, and we're going to anchor down through the feet. You might want to reach down alongside the body and just check that you can gently brush the heels if you reach. So you don't want the feet so close that you can grab them and hold them. You just want to be able to lightly tap the heels if needs be. And from here, we're going to start to roll through the spine. So when you're ready, again, a slight pull down of the belly button, but not much from the neutral place. It's more of an engagement across the front of the stomach muscles, and the tailbone's going to lift. You're going to press the feet down into the floor and roll the back away from the mat. We'll do these first three really nice and slow, just giving us a chance to get into the sensation. You're coming all the way up to the top, maybe lifting the space between the shoulder blades, and then you'll lower with an exhale breath. So we're going to lower all the way down until we find ourselves back in neutral. Tailbone taps down. We'll inhale to rise, press through the feet, squeeze the bum, lift the hips, rolling the spine up and away from the mat. Exhale to lower. Enjoy the articulation of the back body as it comes down to the floor, tailbone taps down. We'll go last time. Inhale, last time like this. Inhale to rise, pushing down into the feet, squeezing the glutes, lifting up. Exhale to lower, letting it all come back down. So the difference between what we're going to do now and what we've just been doing is that in that last movement we were rolling, and in this movement we are just going to lift straight up. So I'll just show you the difference if you're not sure. When we were rolling, there was like a kind of lift of the chest. We're not interested in that at this point. All we're interested in is the lift of the hips. So keeping a straight line from the knees all the way down to the shoulders with that lift of the hips. So we're going to come into it nice and straightforward to begin with, and then we're going to add on. So we'll move into it for 10. If you've got music on, you'll find your rhythm. Anchor down through your feet and let's go. We're going to lift up, squeeze, lower down, up, and then your lower down is almost 2 counts. Your up is a short, sharp lift. Your lower down is with control. That's about 5. I think I'm terrible at keeping count. And we're going to go for 10. So keep that going. Really, really squeeze at the top. Hips are high. We'll go 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top. Hold at the top. Anchor down your hands for balance and lift your heels up off the floor. So you're up on your tiptoes here. And you're going to lower down your heels for 2. And lift. And lower down heels for 2. Keep squeezing your glutes. And lift. So there's a little shake as you lower the heels potentially. That is okay. We're working that stability. This is number 5. We're going for 10. So keep the hips lifted. Squeeze the bum. Pull the belly down. We're going for 3, 2. It is controlled on the way down. 1. Hold it at the top. So you've got heels high, you've got hips high, you're squeezing the glutes. If this is way too much, you're welcome to lower the heels at any point. And we're going to now move knees out and in, but it is tiny. It is a tiny little movement. The knees are going out and in. Hips are lifted. You're rolling onto the little toe edge of that foot. That's 5. Keep it going. We'll go here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees to center, and then we'll lower the hips. We'll lower the heels to the floor, sorry, and then we'll lower the hips to the floor. You might want to give the knees a hug in. Just let everything go. We're going to do one more round similar to that, but a slightly different set of add-ons. So find yourself back feet on the floor when you're ready. Knees are pointed up towards the ceiling. Hands are reaching down alongside the body. They're going to act as your balance, and we'll start pretty straightforward. So when you're ready, you're going to lift and lower, exactly the same as you did before, and you're going for 10. Your lower down is with control. So you're not sort of slamming back to the floor or using momentum to swing the body down. You're lowering with control. You're really squeezing at the top. We're going to go here for 3, for 2. Hold at the top, number 1. So up at the top here, it's almost exactly the same. We're going to lift the heels and lower the heels. Inhale, heels lift. Exhale, heels lower. Can be useful to match it with the breath if that is interesting to you. There might be a shake as you come down. I noticed that one of my legs shakes a lot more than the other one. Okay, that just means that one is probably working a bit harder, building a little more strength. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, hold at the top on the 1. At the top here, instead of letting the knees come out and in, we're going to keep the knees pointed straight ahead, and we're going to squeeze tiny pulses. So as if you were just moving the hips up and down by an inch, you're going to squeeze the glutes. Hips lift and lower just a tiny, tiny amount. The heels can come down to the mat at any time you need. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, squeeze. 3, 2, 1, hold at the top. Hold at the top, now the knees go out and in. Knees are tracking out and in. Just 10 of these. Try to relax the jaw, try to relax your face. This is 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it up there. 1, knees in, heels down, hips down. Allow the knees to hug in towards the chest if that feels good. Feels good to kind of get a bit of a stretch down the outside edge of the glutes, potentially here. Give everything a hug in, maybe rock and roll from side to side. And in your own time, you're going to make your way up to sit. You might roll across to one side and press yourself up to sit, or you might want to rock and roll up and down the spine a couple of times, and then we'll meet in a seated position. And once you've got yourself in that seated position, we're going to sit up tall on the sit bones. You guys know what that usually means. And we're going to catch hold of the backs of the knees. So there are a few levels here. You can work at whatever level feels right in your body. We're going to come into those little hollow body holds. We're going to go for 3, and we're going to hold each one as best we can for 3 breaths. So if you need to let go or adjust, you're welcome to. So you can choose to keep your feet on the floor, arms come forwards, and pull the body back into the place where it feels like you're scooping out, hollowing out the front of the body. You could choose to lift the feet off the floor, bend the knees, and hollow the body out. You could choose to lift the feet off the floor, straighten the legs, and lower the body down. So you've got levels there that are totally fine to work out. We're going to go for 3. Find yourself up at the top. Sit bones are grounded. Inhale, lift the chest. Use the hands behind the backs of the legs to get a lovely long spine. Exhale, lower into your version of that hollow body hold. We're holding here for 3 breaths. See if you can reach away through the toes. See if you can pull the belly down. Feel like the whole front body is scooped out. Last breath here. Draw it in. Give the knees a bit of a hug. Let everything go. Little rock and roll across the bum might feel nice. We're going back in. We've got 2 more, holding exactly the same like that. So hands on the backs of the knees. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower, finding your way into your hollow body hold. Feet could stay on the floor. Feet could be lifted, knees could be bent, or you could be straightening out through the legs. You've got 2 more breaths. Soften across the front of the body. Soften the jaw. Last breath. Pull it in. Give the knees a bit of a hug. I'm dreading this last one. That one felt sort of bearable. This next one, I'm not sure quite how it's gonna go. So, feet on the floor. Take your inhale breath, lengthen up. Exhale, let's go for it. Pull the belly down. Lean yourself back to the place of resistance. You're only going back as far as you can hold it. So you're lengthening out through the fingertips. You're softening across the chest. You're softening the jaw. We've got 1 more breath. Pull it all in. Inhale, give everything a bit of a hug. Very nice. And from here, we're going to make our way onto all 4s. You can roll over the knees, or you can kind of turn yourself if you need to. And once you've found yourself on all 4s, we're pretty much going to go straight for it. So hands plant down, toes are tucked underneath. And as best you can, you're going to push the floor away and hover the kneecaps just an inch off the floor. So straight into that box plank. That same sensation that you're hollowing out the front of the body. The back of the neck is nice and long. You're going to look down at the floor just ahead of your fingertips. And as you inhale, you're going to step your right leg back. Your left leg back to join it. Hit plank. Exhale, steady the breath, pull the belly in. Inhale, left knee comes in. Right knee comes in. They're hovering away from the floor. Exhale, pull the belly in. Inhale, step out to plank. Exhale, hold plank firm. Inhale, step it into box plank. Exhale, hold this firm. We'll go 1 more. You've got it. Inhale, lengthen it back. Exhale to hold it firm, push the floor away. Inhale, step it in. Exhale, hold firm. Inhale here. Exhale, release the knees to the floor. Allow the hips to travel back and just give yourself a moment, kind of rolling and stretching the wrists. So you might put the elbows down and just allow the wrists to roll, or you might just let the hands go kind of soft on the floor. You might want child's pose, whatever you feel like you need here. It's a nice little moment of power in the core there. A little bit of work for the shoulders. When you feel ready, when you feel like you've given these hands some time to come back to life, you're going to put the hands down on the floor, pull yourself back forwards to a tabletop position, and this time don't worry about your box plank, we're just stepping it straight back to our regular plank pose. The heels reach for the back of the room, the crown of the head reaches for the front of the room, the back of the body is long. The back of the neck is part of the spine. See if you can include it here. If you let the head hang down, you're kind of compromising that lovely straight line. Take an inhale breath here at the top. Exhale, you're going to very lightly tap both knees down on the floor. Total control. Inhale to the top. Exhale, tap both knees. Pull the belly in, you're not letting the spine sag. Inhale to the top. Exhale, tap both knees with control. All the way down. Inhale to the top. Exhale, hips are going up and back. And you're making your way into your downward facing dog. Just 3 of those. If downward facing dog is not a good fit in your body for whatever reason, you can go straight to a forward fold and meet us there. So nice steady breath. You're welcome to pedal out through the back of the legs if that feels good. Give the head a shake. When you're ready, if you're in downward facing dog, we'll meet everyone who's gone to forward fold. Have an inhale to look forwards between your hands and walk your feet to your hands or your hands to your feet, don't mind which. And we'll hang out here over the legs just for a moment. Letting the head go. Last little bit of quick controlled fire for the legs here as we bring our big toes together and our heels together. in our forward fold. Bend the knees. And you bend the knees as much as you need to get the fingertips down on the floor. So from this place, with the fingertips down on the floor, the knees bent and the big toes and the heels touching side by side. We're going to inhale and lift up the heels away from the mat. So coming up onto the tiptoes. A little bit of balance involved. Your hands have got you if you're feeling unstable. Your inhale is at the top. Your exhale, and you're going to crouch down as much as makes sense for you. Could be hips to heels. The heels are still off the mat. Inhale will lift. Exhale will lower. I'm going to keep it going. Inhale to rise. Exhale to lower. The heels are away from the floor the whole time. Inhale, you come up. And then we're bobbing down. We'll go here for 5. So feeling that chain of muscle in the back of the legs, really start to switch on. 4. Try and keep it under control. 3. 2, maybe 5 is ambitious. Keep it going. Keep it going. 1. This is our last one, lifting up to the top. Let the heels come down. Bend the knees. Separate the feet out again. And it might feel good here to just sort of walk out through the legs. So just pedal out through the backs of the legs. You can let the head hang. You can let the arms go soft. And then from here, when you're ready, you're going to come up to stand any way you like. If a roll up feels better for you, do that. If you're wanting a big gesture, bend the knees. Big inhale. Sweep the arms to rise. Exhale, the hands can come down however you like. Okay, if you're not at the top of the space you're working in, just take a couple of steps forwards so that you are right up there at the top of the space you're in. And we're just going to bring it through a little flow, which might actually be familiar to you guys. You might have done this one before we come into those kind of quick fire movements towards the end. So up at the top of the space you're in, big toes are side by side. Heels are more or less touching. There might be a little gap between the heels. That sometimes frees up a bit of space in the knees, especially the knees are feeling really jammed out. So find yourself steady here. When you're ready, inhale, sweep the fingertips down, forwards, and up as you sit the bum low. We're going to reach the arms out in front, just because it makes for a better stabilizer than up and overhead. And we're going to think about taking an inhale, lifting the chest. Exhale and sitting the bum down. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, see if you can go an inch lower. And then from here, inhale, fingertips reach up. Exhale, fingertips sweep back and the heels gently lift. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lift. So you're going to keep that going. Exhale, you're lifting up. Very nice. We'll go one more, lift. Arms back to parallel. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, sit the bum down. Nice. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, dive in long over the legs. Very nice. So, coming to your halfway lift, you can keep a bend in the knees. You're going to lengthen out to the spine and pull the belly in. Think about hollow body shape we had at the beginning. Nice. Exhale, fold all the way in and down. Hands find the floor. Step the right leg back. The left leg back to join it. And you find yourself strong in your plank pose. Take an inhale, push the floor away. Exhale, solidify everything here. Rock solid. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, hips rise high to downward facing dog. If downward facing dog is not good for you, walk your hands towards your feet. We're going to forward fold. You can get there a bit quicker if you need to. If you've not already gone, take an inhale, look forwards at your hands and walk your hands to your feet. Back towards a forward fold at the back edge of the mat. Bring the big toes together if they're not already. And as you inhale, fingertips sweep along the mat, the bum sits down and they're coming up to parallel. You find yourself in your chair pose here at the back of the mat. Take an inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, can you sit down? Another breath like that, inhaling to lift the chest. Exhale, maybe sitting down an inch more. And then we get into that momentum. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, swing back, heels lift. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, sweep it back. Keep it going, that is your third. Try and keep the back body neutral here, so you're not arching as you come through. We'll go for one more. Exhale, heels lift, arms fly back. Bum comes down, arms are parallel. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, sit down an inch more. Inhale here. Exhale, folding over the legs. Whew, we're quite glad to see that. Have a little walk if you need to. And then we're coming into that halfway lift. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, fold over the legs, bend the knees as much as you need to. Hands get strong on the floor, and they're going to walk out long. Bring you all the way back to your plank pose. You might need to separate the feet here. You might think about pulling the belly in. As you strengthen up, you're going to inhale, push the floor away through the hands. Exhale, make everything really solid and strong. Squeeze the bum, inhale here. Exhale, hips high for downward facing dog. If downward facing dog isn't good, it's feet to hands, forward fold at the top of the mat. If you've not already gone, inhale, look forwards between your hands. Walk your feet to your hands. You're coming back to the top of the mat. You're going to keep the big toes together. No surprises about where we might go here. Inhale, fingertips sweep low, rise up. Arms parallel to the floor, bum sitting down, you're in your chair pose. Take an inhale breath, lift the chest. Exhale, sit the bum down nice and low. And we're going to pulse here. So tiny little pulses. You're not bouncing through the knees up and down. You're pulsing using the glutes. So you're going to squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. Keep it going here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the hands to heart center. Don't stand up. Strong in this right leg. We're going to step it out to the, we're going to step it back behind us. So the right leg is going to step back behind us. I should have said left, because I'm going to have to turn around now. Right leg stepping back behind us, bringing you to your low lunge. Once you've got, your high lunge. Once you've got yourself there, inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, you're going to hover that back knee just millimeters away from the floor. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. We're going for 5, so that is 2. Exhale, lower. Control as you descend it. Inhale toward the top. Exhale, bring it down. This is your last one. Inhale to the top. Exhale to lower. Hover it. Just millimeters off the floor. Inhale, arms rise. Hold it here. Big breath in. Exhale, press away. Hands to heart center. Turn on both toes. Out to the side, straightening the legs. Might feel great. You might want to just give everything a bit of a wiggle. Very nice. Turn the toes out to the side. Take an inhale breath, lift the chest. Exhale, the bum sits down. Knees are tracking out over the toes, and we're coming into this wide goddess pose. Hips are dropping down. So I want you to think about pulling up through the front of the body, pulling the belly in, drawing up, and lengthening down through the back of the body, as if the body was a kind of cam belt. Up through the front, down through the back. Take an inhale breath here. Nice and strong as we exhale, we're just going to find that pulse, that very slight bounce here. We're not using momentum as best we can. We're keeping it coming from a place of powerful muscles. Muscles in the front of the legs, potentially giving us a lot of noise at this point. We're going to keep it going for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it here. Keep this bend in the knees. Bring your right leg back to parallel with your left leg, sitting low. So it's a tricky movement. You're welcome to make a couple of goes at it if you need to. Take an inhale once you're here, arms to parallel. Exhale, we'll pulse. Little sitting down kind of motion, as if you were just checking for that chair, lifting the bum up and away from the seat. We'll go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, sit down. Inhale, push the floor away, come up to stand, hands to heart center. Give everything a bit of a shake. Give everything a bit of a shake at the top. Just have that wiggle. And we're stepping the feet back together, somewhere near the top of the space that we're working in. We're going to come back through that last little section, just working into the quads. So find yourself back at the top of the mat, big toes touching. When you're ready, inhale, arms rise, bum sits low. Arms can come to parallel. And if you really want the challenge, take them overhead. But there's, you're working on this stability to begin with. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, sit the bum down. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, sit low, and then we sit low here. We're going to find that pulse, that very gentle lift, up and down. But we're working with control. We're trying not to just bounce with momentum even. We're going for 5, 4, 3, a little lower, 2, 1, hold it here, hands to heart center, step the left leg back behind you. So that left leg stepping back behind you sends the right leg, really a quiver for me. So if you need to make it solid, make it solid. Take an inhale, arms are going to lift up. Exhale, and we're dropping down, left knee to just a millimeter away from the mat. Inhale, rise. Exhale, we lower. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, you're coming down and you're just going to hold this upright position in the body. You're not letting it lean forwards. Inhale, come up. Last one, exhale, hover the knee, millimeters away from the floor. Inhale, arms rise. Hold it for a breath. Inhale, hands to heart center. Push the floor away. Legs are coming straight and you'll turn. So that turn is your moment of relief, your moment of release through the legs. Just check that your heels are in line. So you're coming into the goddess pose nice and strong. Toes are turning out. Take an inhale breath, lift the chest. Exhale, sitting the bum down. Remember that sensation, drawing up through the front of the body, dropping down through the back line of the body. Tailbone dropping low. Take an inhale breath here. And as we exhale, we're going to find that pulse, that very gentle, tiny little bounce. I am sweating. Just so you know, I know you like to know. Little update. Holding it here for 5, 4, lower, 3, lower, 2, lower, 1, let it go. You're going to step your left leg in to match your right leg. Try and keep the bend in your knees. Straight in, lovely. Once you've got yourself here, inhale, arms rise. And we're going to pulse. We're going to find arms coming out in front if that works better for you. We're going to find that tiny little bounce in the legs. We'll go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Arms lift, inhale. Exhale, sit down. Inhale, push the floor away. Come up to stand. Give everything a shake. Give everything a much deserved, a well-deserved wiggle and a shake. So we're coming into this last kind of higher speed, picking up the pace a little bit moment. So we've got 2 exercises, and we're going to run through them. 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. So you're really going for super kind of speed, explosive power if you can get it. 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, 3 times. So 6 minutes in total. So a minute per exercise, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. I'll show you the 2 movements that we're coming into, and there's a modification for both that makes it no impact if you'd rather have that. So the first movement we're going to come into, you're going to want to be able to move long ways along your mat. I think we've done this one before. All we're going to do is come into this kind of skater, kind of step back lunge. If you've got this and it feels strong and controlled, you might add a little jump, although I'm short on space to add a bit of a jump and really show you how that could look. So you're welcome to just step with control, step in, step out, or maybe you're finding that little moment of kind of leap between the sides. I'm going to go crashing into the chest of drawers if I make that as big as it can be. There's not enough room in here. Your second movement, if I come out of the sunshine so you can see my feet a bit better, is probably no surprise to anybody, is going to be a little jump squat. So you're welcome to just thrust up as quick as you can, really, really squeezing the bum, press the hips forward to the top, or if you've got it, it's a little spring off the toes at the top. You don't have to add the jump, you're welcome to stay stationary if that's better for you. So we're going to start with the skater. You're going to find yourself in the middle of the space that you're working in. You know what? I've changed my mind. I think we're going to do 30 seconds on, 20 seconds off. So, just because I don't think we need all that rest, let's get into it. Find yourself in the middle of the mat and we'll head into that skater. So, stepping out and dropping the back knee. So really, that power comes from the drop of the back knee. If you want to add the jump, you're welcome to add the jump. Nice, keep it going as quick as you can. Getting between the 2. I wish I could add the jump without going crashing either down the stairs over there or into the chest of drawers over here. You've got 7 seconds. Go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it to a stop. Give everything a shake. You've got 20 seconds off here. Catching your breath. So we're going from here into that little kind of explosive
squat jump. And if you can, you're going to find movement away from the floor. If not, you can still work with that idea of powering up and away from the floor. Find yourself steady. Let's get into it. Feet are hip width distance apart. You're sitting the bum down and then powering away. If you're jumping, you're looking to land as lightly as you possibly can, as if you're trying to catch it on the way down. Nice, keep it going. You've got 10. Maybe you're just working that real powering forwards of the hips. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it to a stop. 20 seconds. Catch your breath. Slow, steady breaths in through the nose. Maybe a sigh through the mouth if that's what you feel like you need. Find yourself back in the middle of your mat. And get ready to go for it. In 3, 2, 1. Stepping out and finding your way into that skater. So big steps so you can really let the back knee drop in. You might be using the arms for a bit of momentum here, especially if you're finding that jump. Beautiful work. Very nice. Keep it going. Keep it going. Dropping low, keeping the torso lifted so you're not allowing the chest to collapse. You're in here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back to center, give yourself a break. Catch up with the breath. Nice steady breath in through the nose, out through the nose. It's working on me. We're halfway through. Halfway through at this point. So getting set up for those squat jumps in 3, 2, 1, go for it. If you are lifting, you're really looking to control that descent. And it's almost a bit like when we were doing the glute bridges at the beginning. You're trying to keep your descent almost more controlled. So you're powerfully lifting away, descending and controlling. You've got 10 seconds here. Maybe you're still feet on the floor, but looking for that real explosion up. Squeeze the bum. 3, 2, 1. Bring it to a stop. Catch your breath. Steady your breath. Breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. You can tell that breathing through the mouth isn't good because I end up in such a state when I'm talking. You've got 5 seconds. And then we're into our final round. Skaters, squat jumps. Lovely stretch. Find yourself in the middle. Let's get into it. Stepping it out. Or maybe looking for that jump if you've got the space. If you're out in the garden, or if you are in a room bigger than mine, which potentially, yeah, looks like some of you might be, we're looking to really lengthen the leap in the middle. So you're really reaching out with that jumping foot, making as much space as possible to step into. We've got 3, 2, 1. Bring it to a stop. Catch your breath. Final round of either big, powerful, kind of thrusting squats or jumps. Find yourself steady. And get into it here in 3, 2, 1. Go for it. So really sitting low but keeping the chest lifted. You can use the arms for the momentum. See what? I'll step out of the sunlight so you can see what I'm doing. Power it up. Really big, kind of powerful squeeze of the glutes. You've only got 10. So keep it going right to the very end. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come to a stop. Let that go. A nice steady breath. We're going to find ourselves back in stillness in the middle of the mat. We'll take an inhale, bring the arms up overhead. We're going to exhale and fold long over the legs, bend the knees. Let that go. Give the head a shake. Maybe nod the head yes. Maybe shake the head no. Maybe give the shoulders a roll. Very nice. From here, taking the feet a little wider. If a squat pose is accessible to you, you're going to use a squat pose to come down to the floor. If it is not accessible to you, you're welcome to sit down on the floor any way you like. If you can come down through a squat, dropped into this perfect little window of sunlight, look at that. If you can come down to a squat, you'll hold that for a breath. Elbows expanding out into the knees, lifting the chest. And then from here, we're going to bring the hands behind us if we're in a squat and the bum down onto the ground. Once you've got the bum down on the ground, it's that moment we've literally been waiting for. We can let the body go. Bring yourself down onto the mat. I'm going to do my best to talk as well here, just in case your visibility is a bit limited by this unexpected glow that I wasn't. Maybe that's just what happens when I sweat. Once you've got yourself down on the ground, bring your right ankle up and across your left knee. Allow your right knee to spill back out to the side. And your left toes here might want to be active, pulling back towards your kneecap to switch on the muscles around the front of the knee, providing a little bit of extra stability. This might be enough for you. You might encourage the right knee back with the right hand really gently. I like my left hand on my left hip here for a little bit of extra stability. And if you want to move on from here, you're more than welcome to reach through the gap that you've created between the knees and catch hold of the back of the left thigh, drawing the left knee in towards the chest, that figure four stretch. Steady breath, in through the nose, out through the nose, nice and controlled. When you're ready, gently release the left foot down. Release the right foot off the left knee. And we're just going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. Left ankle crossing over right knee, left knee moving away. If this is uncomfortable, tweaky or sharp in the knee, you're going to really think about activating left toes more. Pull them back, get them active, include the muscles around the knee in this. And if you want to, you're welcome to level it up by bringing the right foot away from the floor, but you don't have to. You don't have to come to the most extreme part of this stretch for your body. You can keep it in the place where it makes sense and feels, dare I say it, comfortable. Steady the breath. Shoulders are soft, face is soft. And then gently allowing the right foot to come back to the floor. The left knee is going to come down and find the mat. Knees are pointed up towards the ceiling, feet are on the floor. Bring your arms gently up and overhead. They don't have to be straight, they don't have to be reaching. You're going to drop both knees over towards your right, allowing your feet to stay where they are. And you might, at this point, when you get into the bottom of that stretch, want to reach the arms up and away. Big, long, kind of just got out of bed type stretch for the body. And then we'll roll it back through center. Take both knees over to your left, exactly the same. As far as they go, they don't have to touch the floor. There isn't space for mine to do that on the left. And you're expanding up and out, reaching through the fingertips. And then we'll draw ourselves back through to center. You might want to give the knees a hug in here. You might want to stretch the body out long and release the legs long, whatever works for you. But once you've had a last little bit of movement, just come to find some stillness and allow the hands to rest on the belly. We'll take 3 final steady breaths here all together, same as we did at the beginning, just slowing the breath down. Feeling the belly rise on the inhale, fall on the exhale. Take a last breath here. Big inhale through the nose. Maybe let it go through the mouth. When you're ready, gently roll yourself onto your side using your bottom arm as a pillow for the head. Doesn't matter which side you roll onto. And then from there, when you feel ready, perhaps as you're taking an inhale breath, just push the floor away and bring yourself up to sit. You can find any comfortable seat you like, and if you want to seal this little kind of powerful practice, you're welcome to maybe bringing hands to heart center or bowing the head to the heart or anything else that feels right in your body.